Hi everyone, I've made you this little video to explain how to use the back gate. I'll also show you one of our shortest and easiest rides, especially for those of you who are not used to riding in the valleys. So Lance and I ventured out bright and early this morning to test run and take some GPS trackings for you all. It was quite early, so there was a lot of horses around the gate. They didn't give me any trouble, but Lizzie and Storm did give me some trouble to get into the top field. So I would really recommend taking a lunge whip with you, because you cannot let any horses out there, especially as the grass has just been sprayed, so they will quite literally be poisoned if they go out. I then decided to hop on to Lance because I'm a little bit lazy, and I walked towards the next set of electric fencing, so between the top and the back field. Obviously I got off to let myself out at that point. I got back on to Lance. This proved to be a little bit exciting for him. He threw in 2 bucks and I promptly lost my gate key. So I had to go all the way back down to the yard to get a different key. That's just a little insight into the sort of exciting things that can happen when using the back gate. But to cut a very long story short, I did make it out in the end. I had absolutely no trouble at all with the gates themselves. It was really wonderful. I then went up the side of Chris's field on the right side, so turning right out of our gate, stuck to the headlands. Now it's important to note there is no track there, there's no right of way. So we are needing to ride in single file, an absolute maximum of 2 horses at a time, or else we are going to cause damage to the land and then we'll lose permission to use it. So I tracked right all the way to the New Barn Gate, at which point I followed their well-trodden path down to the bridle way. So no problems there. I met a lot of sheep. The moment I hit the top, there were sheep everywhere. So, do be aware that you can of course run into perhaps more livestock than you're used to. And then at that point I started filming a little video for you all to explain the route, here's actually a photo of the GPS tracking that I took for you. So this is the route that I took. I have to admit, leaving my belongings at the top gate was a bit of a mistake, because I probably would have come back over the roads rather than tracking all the way back to the yard. It did make the ride a little bit longer than I anticipated. So the shortest ride from the yard is what I'm calling the Winding Hill Yard. I'm going to label all of the rides so that we have a rough idea where people are going. I think that will be really helpful. But it took me just over an hour, and it is about 8.5 kilometres. So it's about the same distance as doing the gallops and then immediately doing Rodine and the cow fields to come back to the yard. So here's a little bit of footage that I took for you on the ride to perhaps explain some of the crossroads and also show you just how absolutely beautiful it was out there today. Enjoy. So it's about 2 kilometres to get here. So to get where I am now, which is just at the edge of the bridleway, is about the same as up the hill around the back of the docks and then back down the hill to the yard, just to give you an idea of scale. For it's a really simple ride. You basically just keep turning left until you get back to where you started. Okay, so when you get to the bottom of here, it's a little bit of a crossroads. Obviously you can go straight ahead, and that takes you to Castle Hill Nature Reserve, or if you head across those fields you can get up to the Kingston Ridge, where again you can turn left or right, either on the South Downs Way or all the way up to the ridge. If you turn right here, that's actually about the same distance as the ride I'm going to do. That allows you to ride back up towards Bolsdean Farm, at which point you can turn right back to the yard. Hello sheep. Sorry buddies, I need to ride through here. I'm going to turn left because it's a really, really nice and simple ride. However, on the route there's usually a couple of gates that you will need to get off the horse to do, because they've got sort of half a tractor attached. We've also not met any cattle, but sometimes there are, of course, cows around as well as sheep. There we go, absolutely glorious. A bit warm. Very popular path with dog walkers, this one. Really nice track. Actually see some cattle up there, so we're not going there today, but again, lots and lots of bridleways through these fields, so it's really worth getting an Ordnance Survey map. For example, that yellow one down there, you can actually just ride through. Bridle path runs straight through the middle into a field of rather excitable cows, but they're okay with horses, not so much with walkers. Once you reach the top of that windy hill, you actually pop out right here, bang in the middle of Bexhill Green. Now, annoyingly, I've left all of my stuff by the yard top gate, or actually I would now turn down towards the primary school and Tesco and come back along the top, along our usual bridleway as a lovely cool off, which would be considerably shorter than now having to double back towards the yard. But it's a lovely day, quite warm up here now, so we're just gonna walk the last 2 kilometres home